The Steam Next Fest is a celebration of upcoming games. You might have seen a video I've made not too long ago covering this Next Fest, but did you know those were just demos that were available before the Next Fest actually began? More demos have since been made available, and yes, I've gotten to play more games. I'm going to do something a little different this time. Rather than talk about all of the demos I've played, I'm going to instead talk about the demos I really enjoyed. Some of these are games I may have talked about in the last video, but others may be sleeper picks. Really, it just depends on what I enjoyed and what I didn't enjoy. Do keep in mind that not all Next Fest demos persist after the event ends. Some go away. But if you're watching this video before the event ends, then do yourself a favor and try out these demos before the Next Fest ends. But if you like this video or any other video I've made, please like, subscribe, and share with all of your friends. And in the meantime, why don't you check out Off the Console? It's a brand new podcast created by me, Gardner Bryant, and Games Revealed, with guest stars occasionally. And we're doing a special live episode on Friday, June the 6th in preparation for the Summer Games Fest. Check it out. The first game I want to cover is Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. Finally, a demo for this game. It's a more modern reinvention of the classic 2D titles on the NES. It's got an amazing art style thanks to the fact that it's being developed by the guys that made Blasphemous, which has some of the best 2D pixel art I've seen from an indie game. The game features a selection of levels and 2 different difficulties, normal and hard mode. The normal mode levels are pretty balanced and pretty easy for the most part, but the hard mode levels are to die for. Hard mode in this game changes levels almost entirely, changing where enemies spawn, changing the level layout. It's the kind of stuff I want to see from a hard mode. As for the story, you don't get to experience a lot of the story in the game because you get 3 mostly disconnected levels. And I know story isn't a super strong point for the Ninja Gaiden games, but I mean, Ninja Gaiden on the NES was the first game to feature cutscenes ever, basically, so can't wait to see how the story unfolds. 2025 truly is the year of the ninja. Can't wait to play Ragebound, and then the new Shinobi game, and then Ninja Gaiden 4. Talking about the Stellar Blade demo today seems like a bit of a moot point given that the game is already out. But I figured I'd talk about it since it is part of the Next Fest. The Stellar Blade demo runs really well, and yes, the full game runs really well as well. It runs at a near constant 60 FPS on the Steam Deck preset, which yes, it sets by default. And yes, for those who must know, Stellar Blade has mods. And yes, there are plenty of mods. I know who you are, I know what you are. And there's been some good news surrounding the game. For example, Sony lifted all of their ridiculous region locking bullcrap, and anyone can buy Stellar Blade and play it, which is pretty nice. And also, it's the most popular PlayStation PC port that's been released so far. So yeah, the game is out right now, but if you want to try it out before you buy it, the demo is the best way to do it. And honestly, I recommend doing that first if you're vaguely interested. Next up is Mina the Hollower. This is Yacht Club's first non-Shovel Knight game that they've developed. It's got the aesthetics of a Game Boy Color game. More specifically, a Castlevania for the Game Boy Color, mixed with the gameplay of something like Legend of Zelda. The game is super smooth to play, and all the mechanics the game teaches you basically instantly. And of course, not everything is explained to you immediately, but you can intuit certain mechanics that the game expects you to know to actually, beat the game. Probably the biggest game-changing mechanic is the burrowing mechanic. Burrowing lets you otherwise get into inaccessible areas, dodge attacks, pick up items like rocks, and most importantly, it lets you jump further as well. I can see this being a new standard in indie games that are kind of like Zelda almost. Unbeatable is a story-based rhythm game, and yes, there's a free version of it on Steam already that isn't a demo called Unbeatable White Label Edition, which is basically just the rhythm game. Unbeatable is supposed to be a fully realized adventure game of sorts, with rhythm game elements, and yes, even the combat is rhythm-based as well. The presentation is gorgeous, and it is to die for. And full disclosure, I already backed this game, so yeah, I'm gonna be playing this when it comes out. Do yourself a favor and get yourself some nice IEMs. Want any recommendations? Well, I have some on my channel. Probably the most fascinating new demo I've tried out was a game called Ascend to Zero. It's an interesting roguelike. You go about clearing rooms, leveling up, and then beating the dungeon. You can aim your weapons, but they auto-fire, kind of like Vampire Survivors almost. But here's the real kicker. You technically only have 30 seconds to beat the dungeon. But of course, what matters is the ability to stop time. And of course, aside from getting the typical roguelike upgrades, you can find more permanent upgrades as well, and a far more intricate metagame upgrade system. You can find weapons. Some are temporary, but if you're lucky enough, you can convert them into permanent weapons. and sometimes you might just be lucky enough to find permanent weapons and items to equip. There's a lot to this game, so my biggest recommendation is to certainly try it out for yourself. And if you want to play this on the Steam Deck, definitely lower the graphical details all the way, because for whatever reason the game defaults to the highest default settings, so turning the graphical detail down will make the game run a lot better on your Steam Deck. Ratatan's a game kind of like Patapon, but it's slightly different. For starters, this is a roguelike, whereas Patapon was a standard mission-based game. The game comes on early access pretty soon, so if you're interested you can certainly get it. But of course the demo's here for a reason, so try it out before you buy it. While this isn't really a rhythm game like most other rhythm games I've played, this certainly fits the bill, and as such you should get some good headphones to play with it. And while yes, it's very much inspired by Patapon and it's even developed by the former developers of Patapon, it's not Patapon. It has a similar system where you would issue commands via the rhythm and, the notes you play. But aside from that though, there's a lot of minor differences that really change the game substantially. That said, if you're not super into micromanaging units as well as keeping with the rhythm, then this game may not be for you. But certainly try it before you decide on anything. Chrono Gear Warden of Time is a 2D action platformer starring Hololive member Oro Crony. As a fake Hololive fan, I don't think I've ever actually watched a single person's live streams, but I have seen some clips online. The game is very reminiscent of something like Mega Man, but instead of a buster shot, you have swords. Honestly, if I had to compare it to a single Mega Man game, I'd probably compare it to Mega Man 11. You have two time modes. You have the ability to slow down time and also speed yourself up as well. You know what that kind of reminds me of? The dual gear system in Mega Man 11. Not that that's a bad thing or anything, I just wanted to mention it. It's kind of crazy how many Hololive games are actually coming out, and there's like 3 of them in the Next Fest. This is definitely the most interesting one of them because it's more like an actual video game, whereas the others are like Hanafuda and the other one is Reversi, and those are just board games, but with a Hololive skin. The entire game is designed around these time manipulation mechanics, and it shows. And the actual action platforming is also pretty fun as well, and there are boss battles to fight at the end. Honestly, it's a pretty good time. A little simpler, yes, but honestly, there's beauty in simplicity. Flickshot Rogues is one of the more unique roguelikes I've seen on this list. The objective tends to be pretty simple: kill all the enemies, but how you do so really depends on the character you play. For example, the swashbuckler, you just fling him at your enemies and he kills things. The dwarf, he attacks after he makes a full stop. Honestly, just do yourself a favor and download the demo and try it out before it's too late. Absolum is a brand new roguelike beat 'em up being developed by the guys that made Streets of Rage 4. The core combat by itself just feels immaculate. It bears mentioning though that this is a roguelike. Multiple branching paths, multiple different random upgrades to get, and yes, on top of upgrades like making your attacks do fire damage, you can also learn additional techniques as well, which of course can synergize with some of the elemental buffs you get. The only real issue I have is that some character moveset upgrades, like additional combos or additional techniques, are only available during a run, and honestly I kinda wish they were just unlocked permanently. And honestly, for those thinking this is just your average beat 'em up, if you actually try engaging with the systems, you'll find there's plenty of depth. Maybe not as much as like Streets of Rage 4, but there's still plenty out there. But then again though, this is just a demo, so maybe there's more that we haven't seen yet. Jump Ship is best played with your friends, and honestly, I'm not really sure it runs that well on Steam Deck. So if you want to play this, my recommendation is to play this on PC instead. The main reason I'm talking about it though is that it is so much fun. This is a roguelike that's primarily meant to be played with at least one other person. Otherwise, honestly, you're just doing everything by yourself, and that's not that fun. There is no matchmaking system, and I believe you should have a matchmaking system for a game like this. Like other co-op roguelikes like Risk of Rain 2 have matchmaking as well, so I don't see why this couldn't be implemented. Anyways, the game is part FTL, part first-person shooter, part space exploration, part zero-G simulation. You man a crew on your jump ship, and yes, having crewmates is pretty important. The game doesn't give you really any useful AI companions. It gives you one that sort of is one, but like he's not really one. I hope when the game ships, it comes with a matchmaking system and that the game just runs better on Steam Deck. I've played a lot of demos, and I think these were the standout demos of the Next Fest. Of course, I picked the demos out by suitability and uniqueness and just how fun they are. And yes, I've talked about some of these in my last video, but honestly man, they're still really good. And honestly, if this is like your first Next Fest video you're watching, Definitely play all 10 of these games and play some more demos that you might find interesting. If you like this video, please press the like button and check out our other videos. And if you like those other videos as well, be sure to press the subscribe button and share the good gospel of high-tech lowlife with your friends. Furthermore, we have a community Discord for enlightened individuals such as you. And if you wish to further support high-tech lowlife, be sure to check out our Patreon page. Links in the description.